sex is keeping you broke, and here's why. A lot of women don't know this, but your creativity, focus, and attention is directly tied to your nervous system. And you know what changes that nervous system? Something that alters it from the inside out, something that just comes in and mutates it? Sex. Yes. So, let me tell you why you broke because you keep having sex. My name is Renee Alexandria. I'm a author, life coach, and workshop facilitator, and I'm going to tell you that you might need to check your ass to see why you so broke. okay, so so we all know that oxytocin is the love drug, is what they call it, the love hormone. It's the bonding agent. What they don't tell us is that oxytocin is released at like 10 times the rate in women than it is in men during sex. They also don't tell us that oxytocin is actually a sedative. The reason for oxytocin being released like it is in our bodies is because it's preparing your body to have babies. And so in order to prepare your body to have babies, you got to trust the man that you with, right? You got to trust the man that you with. Your body needs to be relaxed. Your body needs to be calm. You need to get into that nurturing mode because you're about to bring a baby on, right? So let me give you an example of how I experienced this, right? I remember I was going through so much. I had all of this stuff going on. I was so stressed out. I wasn't working. I had my kids. I was trying to figure life out and everything. Very, very stressful time. And you know how certain things, you allow yourself to be distracted. Well, I allow myself to be distracted at certain times, right? This was one of those times that I allowed myself to be distracted because shit, I wasn't really a big smoker. I wasn't a really big drinker, but somebody to distract me from the shit that I was going through was really helpful. So I started hanging out with this guy, and I knew that by hanging out with him, my mind was going to start limerence, being connected, forming this bond, getting this dopamine, getting this oxytocin, and it would give me a vacation from what I was going through. I did this purposely. Now, I'm not going to say this is a great thing to do. It's not, because I was using him in essence. I allowed myself to be drugged and I allowed myself to be sedated. I allowed my brain to shut off because I was going through what I was going through. But this nigga was broke as a joke. Car was towed up, didn't have no money, didn't have no motion, was not somebody I should have been dealing with. Slowly but surely, the more we kicked it, the more we hung out, the more we bonded, I started noticing my opportunities shifting. I started noticing things in my life weren't going well. Even though they already weren't going well, the opportunities that I was getting was falling through the floor. And I'm like, this is not like me. My interviews go well. This is not like me. I know how to connect. I know how to network. This is crazy. I also started noticing that I was paying more attention to him. I wanted to take care of him. I wanted to help him figure out what he can do to better his life. All along, my life was in fucking shambles, right? So why is it that at this time where I was going through so much that I was still able to put attention, time to him in order to help him, And he, in essence, had more energy to pursue the dreams that he wanted to pursue. I don't know what the hell that was because, he stayed broke. But I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Hold on tight. I got my notes and I did some research on why, because I don't know, some women are able to have sex and kind of detach and not really think much of it. But I think there's another science behind that. But this is a science behind oxytocin, dopamine, and how they affect women and men during sex. So I'm going to read off my notes so I can make sure we're accurate, right? So biology says oxytocin, bonding plus sedation is what equals oxytocin, right? Oxytocin in women, when it's combined with dopamine, it creates the urge to attach, nest, and give emotional focus to the other person. However, in men, during sex, dopamine dominates their system. And when you have a abundance of dopamine, if you have a healthy level of dopamine in your system, you're able to get out there and get the job done. You're able to, seize the day. You're able to focus. You're able to maneuver. You're able to move. You're able to make good decisions. You're good. Just like a person with ADHD, and I've done some research on ADHD too. ADHD is a lack of dopamine. So if a person with ADHD were to increase their dopamine, their focus level, their drive, their ambition will also increase. So while you laid up in bed and your afterglow, feeling like, oh, we're going to get married, we're going to have these kids, oh, I just love him so much. He's in his head like, okay, I can do this tomorrow, I can work on this, I can get this done. He's planning in his head, right? Now, this is just a theory of mine. I'm not sure if science, I'm going to have to talk to a scientist. Y'all be sure to tune into my interviews because I'm going to talk to some real good people and we're going to get some answers to these things. But this is my theory. I feel like the yin and yang of sex is the dance between the woman with oxytocin and the man with the dopamine, right? So as they combine together, the man shoots up all of this dopamine. He has all this dopamine going through his head in order to get out there and make shit happen because he knows biologically that he got to take care of these kids because we haven't evolved that much, right? It takes about 10,000 years for us to evolve. So our bodies haven't even evolved enough to have casual sex with one another. Right? So they don't even know that. They don't even know that they feel that post-nut clarity. They feel that way because they're supposed to be clear on what they're supposed to do next. You need to be clear on the next step, right? A woman, the yang, the yin, okay, I think the female version is the yin. The yin is a sedative. The oxytocin is what makes you want to sit and lay and be beautiful and smell good and look good and just kind of bask in the ambience because you're creating life. Right? So while he penetrated her, if you want to make it a little bit more woo-woo, just like an outlet, he goes in, he get power from the outlet, right? The outlet is, yes, it's still powerful. It's the source, but once something goes in it, it's not being taken from per se, but it's distributing its power source, right? So the more we have sex with men, the more we're distributing our power sources and allowing ourselves to be sedated. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a person who's against sex, but I am saying that we should be having sex in seasons. You know what I'm saying? You need to pick and choose when you're going to be sedated. Winter is a good time to be sedated, but it's keeping you broke because if you're having sex, especially with the wrong type of person, a person who's not trying to build with you, you're taken away. You're being sedated year round. You got this man on your mind. He's infiltrating your feelings. You're giving him so much emotional attention, emotional energy that you can't even focus on your own shit. You can't even focus on your own business. Meanwhile, he's in your power source, getting your energy, and he's going out and building nations. And he might be going to other power sources and also getting powered up. You know what I'm saying? So if women, I'm not going to say, now I believe, because I've been on my abstinence journey, and I believe that it's been doing wonders for me and my creativity and my focus. But I'm not going to say, because I know some, women, we like to have fun too. Girls need love too, But I think that if you pay more attention to who you laying down with, you can understand why certain things aren't going the way they need to be going in your life. You can understand why you might as well put your debit card on the black market and let somebody hit you up for a few thousand than having sex with some random ass dude that you're allowing to power up off of you, So I get that story to say, yeah, I was giving him all of my power and I was left with his, feeling like I didn't want to do nothing, lazy. And I'm like, this is not like me. I'm a person that likes to get shit done and work on stuff, but here I am laying around. All right, let me look at my notes again because we're going to get into it. Okay, so women's bodies during sex or during the sex window, the sex season where you're, you know, you out there, doing your thing with your man or whatever. Women's bodies are built to optimize the bond, not her creation. She's built to optimize the bond and not creating outputs. She's not creating anything outside of her body during this time. A man's body is created during sex to create outputs, right? So that tells you right there. Seasonal sex. That's what we're doing in 2026. We're having sex in seasons. We're not having sex year round. We're not busting it open for a real nigga all year round. You have to pick and choose when you want to vacate, when you want to have a vacation, and you have to know when to cut it off. All right? What's next? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So here's really why you're losing so much money during these periods, is because creativity requires obsession and focus. Obsession, focus, and with obsession comes limerence. With limerence come pre-planning and envisioning. Now, if you have a man that comes into your brain, you got a man that comes into your brain and infiltrates. Now, instead of thinking about your business and envisioning your business, you thinking about him and what he got going on, especially in an unhealthy dynamic. Now, women in relationships, women in stable and healthy relationships, they become regulated, not sedated. They become regulated because the input and output are working together. Now, after sex, he's out. You know what I'm saying? He's putting out energy. He's going out, he's going working, but he's bringing it back to the house. You know, a woman's husband, a woman's man, somebody in a stable relationships, and that's how you become regulated. But if you're in a situationship and y'all just kind of kicking it, and he's just putting out, and nothing's ever coming back to you, you're gonna be dysregulated, and you might be crazy. You know, let's call a spade a spade. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so bonding hormones like oxytocin and combination of oxytocin and dopamine, it creates less selfish behavior, right? And in order to create business, in order to create legacy, you have to be kind of selfish in order for it to be successful, right? So I'm going to leave this here with you, right? In order to make more money in 2026, you have to prioritize your life force. You have to prioritize your creative life force. Stop giving it away for free. Stop letting people power up off of you. Attention, creativity. Attention and creativity is currency. All right? Currency in the form of money and currency in the form of energy. All right? If you want to make more money in 2026, hear me now. Have sex in seasons like you would a vacation. All right? Okay, my name is Brene Alexandria. I created this channel in order to give different insights, different viewpoints on a multitude of subjects, and stay tuned for all of these interviews I'm about to do, because 2026 we